Hey, it's Bill the Geek, and I'm here to give you some geek information. Okay, the top geek information for right now is we are having still interactions with others, and these interactions are not going well. They're not. How do I know? I have had a lot of interactions with other people recently, and they're not going well. Why? Um, I don't know why. What do we need to know about it? Interactions aren't going well. Don't expect right now that you're going to be coming to all kinds of agreements with other people. It's going the other way. Massive disagreements. So, we all have our strongly held opinions. And a lot of our opinions are based upon, someone says hearsay. Well, I know it is hearsay. The stuff that you hear from the mainstream news is hearsay. And the stuff that you hear from alternative sources is hearsay. The stuff you hear from, it's hearsay. What is truth? I think what we're learning right now is truth is kind of hard to put your finger on. But we're still working on trying to get to truth anyways. Are we making some mistakes with truth? Yes, there's a lot of guesstimating. I'm going to guesstimate that this way is better than that way. And if you're feeling your way through this, then I guess, you know, that's what you do when you're climbing the side of a rocky cliff. Step by step, handhold by handhold. And feeling to see is what I'm holding on to. Is that solid enough for me to put my weight on? And that is a key point. That is what we're doing. We're grabbing for handholds and checking before we put everything we have into holding on to this rock and the side of the cliff. We want to make sure that that rock isn't going to let go. So what are these rocks that we're holding as we're climbing the cliff? These are supposed to be truths. A true rock in the side of that cliff is a good handhold, and you can put all your weight on it and you can scramble up. But if it's a false rock, if the rock is it's cracked and it's going to break, you have to test it. Put some weight on it, see if it's going to hold or not. If it's not going to hold, go find a new rock. But don't keep playing with a rock that you know is faulty. It doesn't feel safe. It doesn't feel good. And what are these kind of things in our daily life? These are the constantly batted back and forth stories, narratives about what's going on in the world. And the narratives range from totally everything is a conspiracy theory to there's no conspiracy theories at all. And when you're interacting with other people, you don't know where they are on that spectrum. And you don't know if they've been checking rocks as they've been scrambling. Maybe they've been using really loose rocks that, they managed to get past that rock. And as soon as they got past that rock, the rock fell out of the side of the rock cliff and it went bounce, bounce, bounce down to the bottom of the valley. But when I hear people saying, I learned the Bible when I was a kid and I'm going with the Bible, I'm going, you're a fucking idiot. If you're going to base your life on a 2,000-year-old book that was written in some foreign language and translated in 1600 into English, I'm going to say that's how you're going to run your... No. No, I'm not going to follow you following your biblical injunctions and all this bullshit. No. But that's what some good Catholic just told me. I'm going to follow the Catholic way. Good for you. But don't expect me to come following behind you when you fall down. Because if you're following the Bible, we already know the Bible was used to justify slavery and horrible racism, the anti-gay, anti-women, anti-witch, anti-anything other than strict Catholic doctrine. Don't forget about the Spanish Inquisition. People being burned at the stake as a heretic because they weren't following Catholic doctrine. So no, I'm not going to follow that old path. That was a disastrous path for 2,000 years. So I ain't going to follow that. And if somebody's going to throw that in my face, good luck with that. But you won't have my support. So what do I work? I just test everything. Test everything. Does it hold water? Yes or no? Is it leaky? Mollycoddling. What is molly? It's basically people pleasing. One of your friends is a Catholic and is following Catholic doctrine, and they start spouting some horrible thing. That's Catholic doctrine. Like women aren't good enough to be priests or something. I mean, how much is there? Everything about that goddamn church is disgusting. It's not modern. It's controlling. It's all based on guilt. It's a pack of lies, Catholicism. So I'm not going to tell people, isn't it wonderful that you've indoctrinated a bunch more children into your religion? The religion where children are totally at risk from your goddamn pedophile priests. I mean, seriously, how many wrongs does the Catholic Church have to do before you finally say, fuck you, Catholic Church, fuck you, Vatican, fuck you, Pope, and fuck all this fucking biblical shit? How many more people have got to be hurt by it? So people pleasing is just saying, nothing. Go on with your church. I'm not going to say that. The Catholic Church has hurt me personally, and it needs to be abolished. And conspiracy theories that are based upon Revelation, the book of Revelation, are fallacious. It's massive fear-mongering. The end of the world. And how many times in the past 2,000 years have you heard fire and brimstone preachers going on about it's the end of the world? It's 2,000 years later, this revelation never happened, and it's never gonna happen. It's a pack of lies. What's going on with our politicians? Well, they've got a corrupt side. There's no doubt about it. Every politician has got a corrupt side. Every politician's got an agenda. But the politicians are still the one duly appointed to govern our countries. And they're doing the best they can. Getting the best advice they can. And who is really gonna judge? To go with plan A or plan B. Someone's got to make a call. I'm sorry, some of the people making the call are incompetent, and some of them are crooks. But generally speaking, you can't say that they're not trying their best to do the best for a horrible situation. There is no perfect answer because there's no perfect information. It's a lot of guesswork. What about the Agenda 21? The Bilderbergers. They're a shitty bunch of people. Why? Just because. They got all this stuff and, instead of just sharing it with us, they want to control us. Using their money to, fund this and not fund that. And they have enormous wealth. They're disgusting people hoarding all that money. Disgusting. Are they trying to kill us all off? Some of them are, I think. All of them? No. No. I really can't tell you anything more than this truth. They're still humans, and they still are somehow related to us. So you're going to have to give them some slack. And even though I'm quite often pissed off by some of the stupid moves they make, overall, even if it's a big hoax, it's a big pandemic, it's a big lie, they're taking it seriously. And they don't know if it is a hoax or not. And you, Agenda 21 people, even though you strongly suspect something stinks, you don't know the minds of each one of the other people that are playing this game. You don't know their minds. So you're going to give them the benefit. You're going to watch them very closely to see if they make a misstep or not. Watch them very closely. But they are the leaders. The police and the armies listen to these people. And if these people tell you, stay the hell home, if you're going to be an idiot and go marching with no mask up to the army guy at the end of your street who is there under orders of your president or prime minister, you might get shot. But don't be stupid. Know when you can't win the war, and you cannot win the war against the governors and the prime ministers and the presidents and what they've put into place. You cannot beat the army guy who's got the army machine gun under his arm hanging there. You cannot. Don't try and play Tiananmen Square, because it's not worth it. It's dramatic, but everyone's already seen Tiananmen Square. And if you all decide to go up and march, well, there's going to be an equal and opposite reaction from the other group, saying, look at those idiots out there marching. I mean, seriously, the policemen and the army people belong to your nation. And they are carrying out their duty to follow the direction, the lawful orders that they are given. And given the fact that the vast majority of people on the planet do believe COVID-19 is a virus, even if some people think it's a hoax, or it's like a man-made thing that was delivered by the Illuminati Bilderbergers, regardless, we're going to have to go with it's a real thing. And it has to be dealt with regardless of how it got on our plate. And you're not going to change people's minds after they've been brainwashed since probably last December about this Chinese virus. And some people say 99.9% of younger people don't die from this, and only old people. Yeah, but people are going to say, old people are dying, and these are my parents and grandparents, and I don't want this to happen. And if this has to go on for 10 years, then I guess it's going to go on for 10 years.